once again, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time joining me here today. Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm wearing fake lashes for the first time in forever. It's like crazy. Ignore the knots, like the spots from my glasses, like where they're like notched in, but like it's crazy. I love it. It's currently Christmas Day. Why am I filming, you ask? Because this is the one day this week that my boss decided to give us the day off, Christmas Day. Anyway, more about that in future videos. No tea, no shade, but major shade. Anyway, so today, since it is Christmas Day, and I've been working full time since I've been off for my Christmas break. If you don't know, I'm in college. My Christmas break is like a month or so. So I've been working full time during the holiday season at my job. I work at a high-end jewelry store. So I'm just gonna tell you guys some of the crazy, rude customers that I have personally encountered working full time at a high-end jewelry store during the holidays. And let me tell you, there are some very, very unpleasant rich people in this world. So let's jump into this. I'm sorry, if you know me, you know my intros are long-winded as heck. So this is about par for the course. Anyway, let's just jump into it. Okay, so the first story that I'm actually going to tell you is like one of the last things that happened to me. Like it's happened to me within the past couple of days, so right before Christmas. Basically, at our jewelry store, even if you don't buy your jewelry from us, if you bring your jewelry in and you say, hey, I'd like to have my jewelry cleaned, we can clean it. We have an ultrasonic and a steam cleaner. So it's just really easy for us to clean jewelry, and it's really quick. So if you bring in your jewelry to our particular jewelry store, we'll clean it for free. Well, this lady came in, and she initially came in to pick up a repair. One of my coworkers had called her and said, hey, your stuff is ready. So she came up to the counter, and you know, as soon as somebody walks in the door, my coworkers and I, we both greet them and we say, you know, hey, how are you doing? Like, welcome to the store, Merry Christmas, all this kind of stuff. We have a bunch of greetings that we say. And so I greeted her, and she didn't say anything to me. Which is like, okay, we were kind of busy, so maybe she didn't hear me. I don't know. She's got on like a headband too, and it kind of covered her ears. So I'm like, maybe she didn't hear me. You know, like I'm not just going to assume that you're a mean person just because you didn't say, hey, I'm doing good. You know, I'm not just going to assume that. So she walked up to the counter and I said, hey, how are you? What can we do for you today? Well, before she told me that she was there for a repair, she took all of her rings off and handed them out to me and just said, clean these. Now, let me just tell you, she was wearing like 6 rings. She had on a 10-carat diamond necklace, diamond tennis bracelets on both wrists. So I'm like, okay, you're a very rich person. A lot of the people that shop with us are very rich. I don't really care. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. But she took off all her rings and just chucked them out to me and was like, clean these. And I was like, okay. And so I took them from her and I was like, give me just a minute. I'll walk back and clean these. And she said, wait. And I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. So she starts taking off her necklace, which is fine. We have a little mesh basket that we put in there for like stuff that can't hang on the little hooks. So I can totally clean that necklace for her if she needs me to. So she's fiddling with it and she can't get it. And I noticed that it has a safety chain on it. And the safety chain is kind of wrapped around the lobster clasp. I'm sorry if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're not really big into jewelry, but a lobster clasp is the clasp that looks like a lobster hand, and a safety chain is basically something that is either attached to a bracelet or a necklace, so that if it comes unhooked, there's still a chain that'll catch it and it won't fall off your neck. Which I understand why she had this, because it was a 10-carat diamond necklace, like huge, okay? It was like a diamond tennis necklace, and those things are huge. So I asked her, I said, hey, can I help you with that? You know, I can tell that you're struggling. And she said, yes, come help me. And so I came over there and I helped her unhook it and I got it untangled. And when I got it unhooked and untangled, I was standing behind her doing this. So I took the necklace, like if I'm back here, I took the necklace and handed it down like this. Like if I was taking this off, I'd take it down like this. So I handed it to her over her shoulders because I'm not just gonna like snatch the tennis necklace and go and clean it. I'm just gonna hand it to her and let her give it to me, okay? I was just being polite. I don't know, it was a very expensive item. I didn't want to drop it or anything like that. So I handed it to her over her shoulders, like this. She took it with her hands, and I don't know if it was on purpose or like she knew it was gonna happen, but she just didn't stop herself. She took it and like flung it, and it hit me in the arm so hard, and I was like, ow, but I didn't say anything because I knew she would snap my head off or whatever. So, and then she just handed it to me and she goes, here, take it. And I'm just like, okay. So I took it and I cleaned all her stuff and I brought it back to her and I got her repair and everything, which, I mean, I took her stuff. Our repairs come in an envelope, okay? And it says on there what's in it and what they did to repair it. So I take the envelope and I pull everything out, and it's individually packaged like in little Ziploc bags. And so I'm handing her stuff and I said, oh, you know, this stuff is really pretty. Like, you have some beautiful pieces. And I do that. I like, you know, you make conversation with your customers. So I was telling her, I said, oh, your stuff's so beautiful. Like, it's really pretty. And she just glared at me. Like, she glared at me. What is the reason? I don't understand. It's like everybody has been in such a bad mood this holiday season, and I don't understand why. Like, shouldn't you be trying to go out of your way to make people's day better than to just be mean to them the whole time? I don't know. But anyway, I got all that situated, and then this lady says, show me some of that stuff over there. And so I took her over to the diamond case that we have. And she picked out a 20 karat diamond tennis necklace, but she was upset because it was only $25,000. She was like, that's only $25,000. And so she ended up leaving and stuff. But it was so funny because when she left, I went to my coworker that I'm really good friends with, and I said, that lady, I've never been beaten with luxury before. And she was like, what? And I was just like, yeah, she kind of like hit me with her 10 karat diamond tennis necklace. Never been beaten with luxury before. So that was hilarious. Like, I still got a good laugh out of it, even though when she was there, she was making my life a living hell. Because she was in the store for like 40 minutes, just like wasting everybody's time and being super rude. And it was just gross. So, as my coworker told me, you can dress them up, but you can't take them out. So the next customer that I want to tell you guys about is not so much a rude customer. I mean, they were rude, but overall, it wasn't the rudeness that bothered me about them. It was how indecisive they were and how it bothered me, okay? They were indecisive and it bothered me. So these two people walk into the store. It's a man and a woman, and the woman is significantly younger than the man. No tea, no shade. And they walk over to the engagement rings. So I walk up to them. I'm like, hey, how are y'all doing? And so I see that they're gravitating toward there, and I was like, are y'all looking for an engagement ring? Like, can I help y'all? Do you know what you're looking for? How long have y'all been looking? All the questions that you have to ask when you're trying to sell an engagement ring. And evidently they hadn't been looking very long. So I had to basically go through all the cases and show them everything we had. And they were wanting something really, really big and really, really flashy. And, you know, the situation is weird because, you know, the engagement ring is like for the woman, you know, it's for the woman. But this lady, she wouldn't try on anything that her boyfriend or fiance, or I guess boyfriend at this point, she wouldn't try on anything that he didn't react like super happy about. Like, she would take a ring out, or we would take a ring out and I would show it to her and she'd be like, oh my God, I love this. Like, I love this. And then she would turn to him and he'd just be like, and she'd be like, oh, well, I don't want it then. And like, I understand that you want the guy to be happy about what ring you're getting, especially when he's going to spend that kind of money, because we were like into the $15,000, $20,000 and above range for the rings that they wanted. I mean, they wanted the center stone to be like 4 carats, which nothing wrong with that, but like, at least make up your mind. So I helped them for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, okay? I put in time with these people. I showed them all different stuff. They kept pulling out the same rings over and over. She kept trying them on, walking around the store because they just for some reason believe that we're trying to trick them by having them in the cases, but really that's the best way to display them safely. You have to have them in the case with a light on them so you can see them and so people can't steal them. Like, you can't just not have them in a case. But anyway, so I put in time with these people, all right? They kept saying that they were done, and then they kept looking at other stuff. And it's one thing if you're planning on making a big purchase and you want to look at every single thing. But the thing is, they didn't know if they wanted to buy with us. They didn't know what they wanted. Even after 2 hours of me helping them, they didn't know. And it's one thing to be indecisive and just be nice about it, but they were being very childish. Like this girl had to be like 30 and the guy was like 65, okay? And like, whatever, do you, that's your life, whatever. But she was like sucking his neck the whole time they were looking at jewelry. I'm not kidding. She was like all over him, like sucking his neck, like holding his hand, which holding hands is not a big deal, but sucking his neck, ugh. She was like trying to make out with him half the time. I'm not exaggerating. This is literally what happened. And I was really fighting back vomit. So I worked with these people for 2 hours, neck sucking and all, showing them everything they wanted to see. My coworkers got involved, like they helped for an hour or two. So like these people have been in the store for like 3 hours, okay? We're getting close to closing, all right? And the store owner comes out and he brings out some diamonds for them to look at because they're wanting these huge diamonds. And he's like, the biggest one that we have is a 4 carat. And like he's bringing out these other ones because they wanted an oval or a pear shape. And the biggest pear shape he had was like 3 carats, and the biggest oval he had was like 4 carats. And really, in our area, there's not much call for anything bigger, so that's why we don't have it. And he's like, I could order this if this is what you want. And they're like, no, I don't think we want to do that. We just want to keep looking. And it's just like, okay, well then keep looking. Don't stay in our store for like 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours. You're taking up all of my time, all of my coworkers' time, the owner's time, and you're not gonna buy anything. And you're not even, like, didn't even take a card, didn't, nothing. Like, wouldn't let us write down their favorites or anything if they came back. And like, they came back another day when I was off work, and my coworker said that she helped them for another 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, why are you gonna waste everybody's time like this? It just does not make sense to me. Why are you gonna go in a store knowing that you're not gonna buy something that day and stay for 3 hours, 4 hours, close to 5 hours? Why are you gonna do that? You're completely, around Christmas time too, you're completely stopping us from making other sales, which is what we're supposed to be doing here. So if you're not gonna buy something and you're gonna stay for 3 or 4 hours, you're wasting everybody's time, including your own. So, I mean, it's one thing if you want to come and look and not buy anything and stay for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. That's whatever. But if you're going to stay for that long of a period of time, why? Like, what is the purpose? You could be looking at other places. Like, if you see something, you don't see something that you like, go somewhere else. You do not have to go to this one jewelry store. There are a lot of jewelry stores in our area. You can go to any of those and find what you're looking for. Why are you wasting all of our time? The final story that I have for you guys actually does have a happy ending because I ended up making the sale, but the customer was still pretty rude nonetheless. So basically what happened is this lady and her daughter come in and she says, I want to look at the diamond studs. So I said, okay, great. So I take her to our case where we have all the diamond studs. So I bring her over there. I'm like, so about what size are you looking for? And she said, probably about 3 or 4 carats. So I was like, okay, awesome. 3 or 4 carats, that's great. And we had some that was like 3 or 4 carats in each ear, which she really, really liked. So I was like, okay, awesome. And I was showing her all these different ones, and she really, really liked those huge ones, okay? And they were marked like $16,000 or $17,000, which she acted like that wasn't that big of a deal. And I was like, oh, we have these Christmas promotions. And I told her about our Christmas promotions and how she would save a lot of money, because the more money you spend with us, the more money you save with us this holiday season. That's kind of the whole premise of the deal. So I told her, you know, you're going to save this much amount of money. And she's like, well, I know the owner and everything, and he usually gives us a better deal than that. And I was like, okay, because some people he does give a better deal if he's been working with them for a while or he's known them for a while. So I'm like, okay, I'll go ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. So I go back there and I ask him, and he's just like, yeah, I'll give it to him for $12,000. So I was like, okay. So I go out there to her, and she's just like playing on her phone and stuff, and I'm trying to talk to her, and she's talking to her daughter or whatever and totally ignoring me. And I'm just like, hello, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm like, he said you can have them for $12,000. Well, she's like sitting there and like rolling her eyes and stuff and like thinking about it, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, her whole demeanor was just like that she was pissed off, and I don't know why, because that's an insane deal to get like $16,000 or $17,000 earrings for $12,000. That's kind of crazy. Like, they were huge. They were like this big. Like, they're huge in each ear, okay? So I'm just like, why are you acting like I've done something to hurt your feelings? All I've done is show you the products that you asked to see. So she sits there and mulls it over for a few minutes, and she does eventually decide to get the earrings. Thank God, because that was like one of my biggest sales this holiday season. $12,000 earrings, okay? And I made this sale in like less than 20 minutes, thankfully, because he cut her that deal. But it was still so weird that, like, you know, she was getting this good deal. I was being super nice to her. Everybody is really, really accommodating at the store that I work at. We offer people bottles of water. We always ask them if they've been helped, all this kind of stuff. But she was just acting like we had done something to hurt her feelings. I don't know. But it's like, don't come in our store acting like that. Like, there's no reason. We're just really nice to all of the customers that come in. I've never been mean to a customer. None of my coworkers have. It just doesn't make any sense. I guess the moral of the story is people are going to act some type of way all the time, and you know, you just can't really let it get to you if you're working in retail. I mean, customers are going to be rude, especially around the holidays, even though that doesn't make sense. You're supposed to be happy, whatever. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me again today. Leave me a like if you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe, because I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!